will be presented by Umayma Shady. And also we have, she's with other colleagues. We have Nordin Beniani, Ahlam Boumehdi, Hafsa Tazaruti, and Muntasir Rabah. So we've got 15 minutes to present, and inshallah we'll have 5 minutes of Q&A. The floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to firstly express my sincere gratitude and my appreciation for accepting our paper. It is indeed a great pleasure. I'm tremendously honored to be here, and today I'm going to deliver a presentation entitled Online Assessment in the Digital Era, Moroccan EFL University Students' Experiences, Perceptions, and Challenges. My talk will be divided into 5 cardinal points. First, we're going to discuss our research objectives, then our research questions, then we're going to see a glimpse of a review of literature, then a research methodology, and then we're going to discuss the data analysis, and then we're going to go for implications, limitations, and recommendations. Mainly during the pandemic era, the popularity of the internet and recent advances in information technology generated new possibilities for training and education delivered through online learning or e-learning. With a variety of electronic devices, applications, and services available, electronic mode of teaching and learning has emerged as a vital alternative to traditional mode of teaching. Despite the popularity of online learning, the issue of assessment has been given attention and has opened up questions and discussions regarding its effectiveness. In this research, our primary aims lie in exploring students' experiences with online emergency learning, as well as evaluation, exploring the utility and effectiveness of online assessment from a student perspective, and investigating students' readiness to go through the same experience in the future. In this research, we endeavor to answer the following questions. How do Moroccan EFL University students perceive online assessment? How effective online assessment is from a student perspective? And are the Moroccan EFL University students ready for a not entirely online experience again in the future? Now we're going to segue into the review of literature. According to IGA Global, online assessment refers to the use of information technology in innumerable ways to assess the information, the performance, and measure student learning. It is more than just testing and evaluation of students. Online educators can adapt their assessment activities to provide useful feedback, accountability, and opportunities to demonstrate quality. Students' experiences with online assessment is very important to improve the educational process. Students play an important role in the learning process, and so does their experiences with certain learning processes. Online learning has always been a component of formal classroom learning. However, a number of challenges limits its effectiveness. 2 of these are the unpreparedness of taking it as the sole mode of learning and the inability to meet the conditions for fair online assessment. While many researchers focus on the impact of online education on students as well as teachers, few tackle the problem of online assessment from students' perspectives, experiences, and perceptions. Our research is structured around the following methodology. Our research design is of exploratory nature, and we have adopted a quantitative method using an online questionnaire. Data were collected from a sample of 93 Moroccan EFL University students, primarily from Moulay Ismail University, École Normale Supérieure, and the sampling technique we've used is the purposive sampling. Now we're going to move to the data analysis. Now, as you can see in the pie charts, 72% of students stated that they were not ready by any chance for remote assessment. They were completely shocked because it was an unprecedented experience, and they were shrouded with feelings of consternation about the prospect of their success, with unpreparedness, and of course with skepticism. 15.1% of students stated that it was difficult for them to access the internet to access their exams, whereas the majority, 36.6%, were neutral. 43% of students have sporadically received instructions from their tutors. whereas 22.6% have never heard from their professors since COVID hit the globe. Again, 41.9% of students stated that they had intermittently received progress checks and feedbacks from their professors regarding their performance, whereas 22.6% of them have been completely ignored. Now, myriad students have described this online experience as irrelevant, insignificant, and stressful. 73.1% believe that online assessment can never actually replace traditional assessment. 48.4% believe that they had satisfactory online performance, while that's the opposite. 48.4% believe that they were not satisfied with their online assessment experience, while 51.6% stated that it was very satisfactory. And 34% of students have not really used a platform specifically designed for online assessment, while 57% of them have actually used a platform that is designed specifically for online evaluation and assessment. Now, 38.7% of students stated that they had a very average experience regarding online assessment, and 17.2% said that it was fruitful. And a jaw-breaking 51.6% of them prefer an amalgamation of both online learning and traditional learning, while only 3.2% of them prefer online learning. 64.5% of them have actually abided by the ethics of taking exams, and 8.6% of them have not actually breached the ethics of online assessment. 65.6% have actually do not actually think that online assessment provides equal opportunities as traditional evaluation, and 21.5% believe that to a measurable extent. Now, are you ready to have the same online assessment experience? 38.7% of them are actually uncertain about reliving this entire experience, so they are in a state of precariousness, and 35.5% are not ready. Now we're going to move to the challenges that students have experienced with online assessment. There exist myriad obstacles that hamstring the effectiveness of online assessment, ranging from technical issues, time shortage, lack of easy access to the internet, lack of instruction and lack of understanding of materials, and complexity of platforms used. For the advantages, students have actually stated that online assessment can actually cater to the needs of certain learning styles and learning preferences. Others stated that it consolidates autonomous learning, it is flexible, there is a clear lack of peer distraction, and there is time and distance management. When it comes to online assessment, there is no shortage of vitriol on the part of students. For instance, these students have stated that there was a lack of invigilation, obviously, which leads to a slippery slope towards academic dishonesty and a sheer inequality of opportunities, in addition to stress, network issues, lack of communication with the teacher during the exam, etc. So, in order for the experience to bear fruit, it necessitates an action that would strike a sympathetic chord with students. Now, these students have actually recommended the urgent use of proctoring platforms that is specifically designed for online assessment that can actually catch cheaters and therefore provide equal opportunities for all students. Like this specific student has stated, Creating platforms set out to level the playing field for online assessment and safeguard academic honesty. Case in point, HonorLock is the quintessential online proctoring service set forth to catch cheaters. All in all, this implies that it is required that policymakers, stakeholders, and decision makers rethink the process of assessing learners online. Educational institutions should provide platforms specifically designed for online assessment. Both teachers and students should be trained on how to use the given online assessment platform, and students must be provided with clear instructions regarding any online assessment. The limitations of our research are as follows. The same pool is not large enough to be representative and generalizable. Students' perceptions and attitudes are subject to change, and there is a clear shortage of references and studies dealing with online assessment from a student perspective. This is why we recommend that future researches should also focus on online assessment from teachers' perspectives. Further researches should investigate students' perceptions, experiences, and challenges with online assessment from a larger scale, and more research is required to assess other effects of these assessments on long-term knowledge retention. And thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you very much. Very good timing. Before we discuss the questions, can I just say one thing? I really like the quality of slides you just showed us, which is very good. Congratulations. Now we are going to question time. Please, if you have any question. Anybody with a question? Yes.
Merci beaucoup pour la présentation qui est très très riche. J'ai juste une question à propos de, vous avez parlé du mode présentiel, mode hybride et mode distanciel, complément distanciel. J'ai lu que les étudiants, ils ont donné un gros pourcentage pour le mode hybride. Est-ce que vous avez explicité la manière de faire ce mode hybride?
Well, I think that we can espouse a hybrid model by, for example, having students come to school for like 2 days of the week, and then for another 2 days, we'll have another online learning experience, just to kind of make so that everybody can contribute their fair share of participation, because there are obviously different learning styles and among students. There are introverted and extroverted students. Introverted students don't really like to participate. They seek solitude. They have few friendships. So online learning and online assessment would be very perfect for them. Whereas extroverted students actually derive energy from the external world. So they actually like peer-to-peer interaction. They like interaction with the teacher. They just like being in a social context in general. So I think a hybrid model is a democracy for everybody, just to cater to the needs for everybody.
Thank you very much.
So an elaboration concerning your question, sir. Those students who were participated in this study normally attempted the three models of teaching: the hybrid, the face-to-face, and then the complete online learning experience. And then students from DNS last year, for example, we have 1 month face-to-face and 1 month online. Maybe that's why the reason they choose the hybrid model, as they give it a high percentage when it comes to which model they prefer. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentations. That's high quality. My question, I'm sorry, I did miss the methodological parts. Can you just answer with what was the form of the questionnaire? How did you elaborate the questions? Is Google Form?
Yeah, on Google Form, yeah.
It wasn't presential?
No.
No. So did you take in account le biais of lying when students tells you that they did not cheat on assessment? Because in the diagram that you presented, they tell you that they didn't cheat on. I think it was 7%.
Yeah.
Of students who did actually tell you that yes.
Yeah, the immense majority of them said that they did not breach the ethics of taking exams, but at the same time, they also said that online assessment does not bring equal opportunities for everybody. So I think, obviously, not all answers are going to be honest from students, that's for sure. And but
the questionnaire is blended. Unknown. The people are answering, but in the unknown mode.
Yeah, it was anonymous. In the anonymous mode, of course.
So that's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Any more questions? So, no more questions? Okay, thank you ever so much for your presentation. Can we have a round of applause for this? And next, we will have a presentation by Ilham Outou and Sabrine Jmed about online assessment at Moulay Ismail University, École Normale Supérieure as a case study. That will be the case study. Please, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to be among you. It's such a pleasure to be present at the ICT Days. And I think this is maybe one of the chances where a recommendation is going to be answered immediately. Umayma have just recommended that the professors should work on assessment, and here we are. We are going to answer this. So they say that there are really hidden blessings behind every struggle that we go through. And I think that the case of the COVID-19 was a blessing in itself, because it gave us this time to take a pause, to think, rethink, reconsider our practices within the classroom with the students, and whatever practices we're doing are taken into reconsideration another time. So today I'm going to share with you an experience that we have done at l'École Normale Supérieure of Meknes. Ms. Jmed, Sabrine, and I worked on the title on this topic of online assessment at Moulay Ismail University. And I think the difference between the online assessment that Umayma talked about and the one we're going to talk about is the fact that it was done immediately after the COVID-19. So when we talk about l'évaluation à chaud, which means right after this happens, we move into action and we see what the reaction are going to be, whether we're talking about the students, about the professors themselves, or about the circumstances, the platform, all the other things are going to be taken into consideration. So the title, as you can see, is Online Assessment at Moulay Ismail University, and we're taking l'École Normale Supérieure of Meknes as a case study. So our plan goes as follows. We're going to divide this presentation into three main parts. The first one concerns the reaction of Moulay Ismail University during the period of the COVID-19. The second part concerns this particular place that we are studying, we're working on, which is l'École Normale Supérieure and the online exams we had. And the third part is going to be concerned with the students' perception who were given this questionnaires, and we learned about their reaction to that specific experience. I'm going to start with a quote by Albert Einstein. Yes, sir. Okay. Please don't count this time.
Yes, for sure.
No, I need my time.
Extra time.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you, sir. So, I'm starting with this quote of Albert Einstein, and he said that all that is valuable in human society depends upon the opportunity for development accorded to the individual. This opportunity is given within this context we are talking about, the university. It's this place, this cognitive institution that has this specific. It's not moving. Sorry. I need to move to the next. Yes, this cognitive institution that has this specificity of accumulating, circulating, and anything that has to do with the knowledge. So it's this place we're concerned with the most here. It has answers for the questions that we raise about the universe, about the word, in the word, within the word, and all the types of questions we can talk about. And it has this ability to develop the knowledge of the human beings, We are talking here about developing the individuals. We're not talking about giving content or knowledge to the individual. We're concerned with personalities, not just jar that is going to be filled with knowledge. It's a person who is going to be developed within this time he's going to spend in this place. So coronavirus arrived, and all of us were panicked for a while. And the modalities, the characteristics of teaching, learning process has changed. Everything changed. And every university reacted in its own way. So all of us opted for the emergency remote teaching. And we changed our characteristics, if we can call them so, of dealing with the learn and teaching process. We can talk here about the experience of LUMI, Moulay Ismail University. They immediately, responded to this crisis, if we can call it so, and we're not even sure if it's over, because we're talking about different, versions coming every now and then. So maybe we're not over yet. Maybe the experience is going to be repeated. So we never know. Let's be prepared. That's what we should think of for the time being. So they put modalities to assure the continuation of the pedagogical activities, and they have done so through the use of the platform. The platform was there for a long time, to be honest. I like to be objective when we talk. Let's not paint, okay? The platform existed, but not all the professors were using the platform. It was only the time of the crisis that some of the professors, not all of them, were using it. We can talk also about the type of traditional professors who are against technology, and we can talk about the professors who are open to new things, if we can call them so. So starting from March 20, it was a Friday, the platform started functioning in its new form, and a lot of support was provided to professors themselves. We can talk about online trainings, online workshops that were animated by professionals within the same institution, Moulay Ismail University, who provided guidelines for everything you need in the platform, starting from the moment you log in, from the registration of the students, from how to put the documents, how you can interact with students if you want so, and ending up with the assessment. Everything was there. My friend was one of the Junud al-Khafa. I like to use this term. So she was one of those people who worked during the time we were staying at home during the lockdown. And all of them, they coordinated to make this experience of online, if we can, let's call it remote emergency teaching. It's not online. We had to. It's not an option for us. We were obliged to go through this kind of assessment. So thank you, Ms. Sabrin Jmed, for your help. It's good to, يعرفن بالجميل. We have to ثقافة. All right. So I said that there were training spaces on the platform, workshop, and everything was taken into consideration, including the students. So there was this remote support unit that provided psychological support for the students. And this was done by the experts, again, in psychology. They were all the time referred to, because to be honest, they suffered. We talk all the time from the perspective of professors, and we say that we had a lot to give during a specific time, and we had to deal with technology, with time, with a lot of stress. But the students at the same time were dealing with stress themselves. The COVID, the lockdown. The lockdown is another story. So let's forget. And the platform, some of them were really not into technology. It's not only the professors who are not into technology, but they like this other type of technology, you know, TikTok and the other stories. So let's see now the experience we have done at Moulay Ismail University. So we can speak about the number of users at DNS. We had this amazing number. Maybe for Al-Akhawain, it's not going to be that big, but for us at that specific time, within maybe 3 or 4 weeks, we had 61,000 users of the platform who were logging all the time to check the courses, to interact with their professors, and so on. To some extent, we can say that the Teaching Act was, okay, good, to some extent, okay. But there were still concerns and big question marks in our heads that needed to be answered, especially when we came to the stage of evaluation. Evaluation is in itself a story. When it comes to evaluating students in the classroom, we are concerned with the time, cheating, the grading, the instructions, correction, a lot of constraint. But if we talk about the online assessment, it's going to be worse. Okay, we don't really know who is sitting behind that screen. Is it the student I am teaching in the classroom? Or is it another person? Or maybe it could be the student I'm teaching, but he is in contact with another person answering his questions instead of him. So we decided to work on a plan, or an action plan, to make this experience work. And of course, it's relative. We're not going to come to exact answers, especially we're talking about, like the lady mentioned, people answering questionnaires, although they are anonymous, but they're not going to give us correct answers that can be taken as, criteria for our study, exactly. So our main concern at that time was cheating. And we wanted to make sure, that the students are not going to cheat during this exam. The plan of action goes as follows. We thought of remedies, and the first one was this evaluation guide. This was not done again in all the departments, to be honest. Some of the departments opted for this evaluation guide, and instead of this of going for the traditional criteria of evaluating the student, we opted for the skills, the 21st skills, critical thinking, problem solving skills, all the 21st skills, just to save some minutes, okay? We can also talk here about this experience we had with the H5P. Yes, it was the using video evaluation through the video capsules, and this was possible with the limited number of students who were specialized in educational engineering. Okay. The other option we had was the variant test. If we talk about small numbers, 30 students, for instance, we can talk of having 3 to 5 different exams given to students. 5 exams are going to have version A, the other 5 students version B, C, and D, and it goes as follows. The third option we had was personalized topics. This was also possible with the BA students. They're working on their monographs, research papers. So there were questions related to the research paper. Everyone is going to talk about his own work in a way that he's going to be satisfied with. And the last one, and this one I think that made the difference, was the remote monitoring. It was for the educational engineering students, and they had to have this wide camera angle, 2 cameras actually, the one of the phone and the one of the laptop. And they had to take their exams under those circumstances. And in case of doubt, they could be even called and check if there is someone next to them or trying to help them. Because plagiarism was easy, especially with technology nowadays. And even with those measures taken, we cannot really be sure that the students did not cheat during the exams. This is an honest answer again. So the mission was accomplished, and we finished with the exams. But that was the time we came to the questionnaire. We needed to see if it really worked, if this is the result we were expecting from this exam. We had divided our questionnaire into 3 main parts. The first part concerns the familiarization to the platform and technical problems. The second one concerns the structure of exams, and the third one concerns the psychological preparation. So as I said, we talked or we addressed our questionnaires to 2 different departments, one of the educational engineering, and they have this, okay, as you can see, l'audiovisuel, l'informatique, or all these subjects that have this nature of technology, which means they are experts in the field. When we talk about the bachelor degree, they have ICT, they were initiated to technology, they were not really experts compared to the other students. Okay. The use of the platform, the educational engineering answered with 100% that they were familiar with the platform and they had no problem logging or checking or answering questions. When it came to the other students of the English department, only 21% of the students confirmed that they were familiar with it, which means the majority had problems just to log and see the exams the day of the exam. The technical problem, there is also this thing that we should mention. During the time that educational engineering were taking their exams, the platform was for free. And it was right when the pandemic started. So it was a little easy for them to be connected on the platform, while the other students, they had to take into consideration buying the internet or having or finding technical problems mainly related to the internet. The other part concerns the structure of the exams, and they were asked whether they had this guiding thread or clear instructions or whether the exam suits what they have studied in the classroom. And we can talk here about 52% per 9 saying that to a great extent the exam structure was good. And this is concerning the educational engineering. The students from the English department, the number was less. We can talk about 41.2 who agreed to a great extent that they had really no problem concerning the structure or the content they have received in the classroom and the things that are being evaluated at online. Okay, I come to the last part of the questionnaire. So the psychological preparation, we asked the student whether they received any encouragement, any motivation from their professors. And again, the numbers were surprising to some extent because, okay, it's relative. They cannot talk about one professor, or they cannot really, they say one professor told us, it's okay, it's just time and it's going to pass. But the others did not mention this. They say, deal with it. It's your business now. Okay, so we can talk about 31% from the English department who said that they were not really encouraged during the exams. And I had to deal with this number when I met them in the next term. I punished them, honestly. Yeah. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, I think that this psychological support is what made the difference during the exam, because there were professors who were present with this capital P and other professors who were present and absent. So I think the role of psychological support during that time was what made the difference. Okay, I'm moving to my conclusion immediately, and we can talk about this time of the COVID-19 as a time marked with mutation, or a context marked with changes. Because before, when the student heard of technology, they were really happy to use the computers or to talk or to use PowerPoint, whatever devices where technology is involved, they're happy to use it. After the experience of the online exams, this changed. Yes, it became boring. They panicked from this platform. The platform became like a monster. Yes, for some. Yeah, it was an unhappy experience, to be honest. And the reason we are meeting today is to see how we can improve this experience. If we are going to be put in such a context in the future, let's make it a better one. Okay, so I'm going to conclude my presentation, or our presentation, by this TCU. Are you familiar with this word? TCU. Okay, it's a device that we have in the cars. It's in the controlling device, this gearbox. and it has this role of controlling the car. So let's opt for technology for creative use. And this is going to be possible if we are the ones controlling technology, not letting technology control us. And this could be, again, another topic for future presentations about the artificial intelligence, how human can overcome technology, robot education, anything with technology. And that's all. Thank you very much for your attention, and looking forward to your question. My pleasure,
For your
sir.
presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Excellent presentation. And now we have some about 5 minutes to 6 minutes
Sure.
for question time. Please, if you have any question concerning this presentation, you're welcome to ask. Yes, Justine, here we go.
Professor Fatima Wahia and Zadul Marrakesh. First of all, thank you for this amazing presentation, and especially all these positive vibes you spread in the air.
Thank you.
Really, it was amazing. We didn't feel the time. And allow me to report a second experience, similar one. We did speak about later.
Great.
Then it was in our school, engineer school, and I'll try just to have other to complete perhaps for some results, especially when it's comes to scores. We did this experience with 3 courses, I think, 3 courses: 3D monitoring, remote monitoring, and when we see the final results, we found that the concerned courses were in agreement with the case when there is no COVID. So it was in respect to evaluation. And the other courses were fake.
Yes.
And it makes us really happy with this experience. I congratulate you for communicating on. We didn't, but it's still time. And I was inviting your colleague to make it facing results.
Yes,
I have other to improve, to enhance more this practice. Yeah. And I want just to congratulate you. Thank you for all these details, and hope you a good continuation in this way. Thank you very much, Professor.
Thank you very much. We're looking forward, if you like, to start this comparative study of the results we got, both of us. Okay, it's going to be our pleasure. Professor Fatima. All right, that's the point.
That's the whole
exactly.
The whole
yes, but we have to mention something, that online exams is an experience that is possible, but not with all the subjects. Sometimes when we're talking about technical things, it's going to be hard to make sure. Yes, it's really the hardest. But sometimes when it comes to writing, it's going to be a little flexible.
There are 2 kinds to do. We did it
in both of them.
Yes. When we say line
we did concerns long questions or projects, for example. Yeah. We did it in like a video, like a movie, and they were like a playing and presenting, and then after they post this video on the platform. And for the questions like demonstration, long demonstration, there was a project also, but it you must accept it. There is a part when you must be not very, very critical. Yeah. But when it comes to the QCM or short questions, we did I had the experience with 2,060 students with camera, and this is the high the high effective I have. Yeah. And then and I have 2,000 example. No. I can come to I can go 2,000 example of the same exam.
Okay.
Yeah. So my exam isn't each student had an example. Individualized. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was amazing, because even if they want to cheat and one close to the other, they can. And it could not.
Yeah, I'm happy you mentioned. Yeah,
it was very good. Very hard.
I'm also happy that you mentioned the number, because we should talk about small numbers. It's not going to be possible if we're talking about the context where we have, you know, in the university classes like the. Yes, it's impossible to do it. If you have a limited number, yes. Yeah, this is manageable to some extent. Yes, thank you very much, Professor Fatima.
Yes, we have many questions.
Hello, I have a question to like.
That's good. That's
Right.
I will have a question for her.
Do you think that when creating 2000 example of the same exam, do you think that you can provide equal opportunities for all the students?
Just for data, they don't have the same data, but the same question.
Okay.
So you know, for example, I'm going with the question. Simple example: X plus B. So the A and B aren't the same. You know,
It's possible now.
it's possible.
Yeah.
So I have, you know, large possibilities to change all data,
Yeah.
but the sample is the same. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
so it's
Yeah, it's the nature of the subject that allows this, which is not going to be possible if we talk about the other majors, for instance. It's going to be hard for a professor to provide more than 10, sometimes, or 20.
Depends on the specialty.
Exactly, majors. Mhm.
First of all, I would like to thank you, Professor Nova, for a highly engaging presentation.
Thank you, sir.
I just would like to ask you about the platform that the university used during online learning. Do you think that it provided enough opportunities for students to hear from their professors and maintain interaction with them? And if it didn't, what can be done in the future in cases of similar emergency or online teaching to make students not feel disconnected from learning?
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, we mentioned, if you remember, that the other department, educational engineering, they were doing or using the platform for all the courses from the beginning of the academic year. But for the other majors, it's only during the pandemic time that we all of us ran to see what was going on there, and we found it complicated. We, for example, in the English department, we have already opted for Edmodo as an alternative, and we were using it before the pandemic time. Using this reverse class concept where the students had to see their lessons before, and then we talk about the main classes. So personally, my students, I gave them this. No, I'm honest about this, but they opted for Edmodo. They didn't want to use the platform. And I was really, yes. No, we're going to deal with it in the next pandemic. Okay.
Let's hope this is the beginning of it.
No, it's just kidding.
Okay, any more questions? Yes.
Merci beaucoup pour la présentation très riche. Si j'ai bien compris, à l'école normale supérieure, on a moins d'effectifs. L'effectif nous permet d'organiser l'enseignement à distance d'une manière très efficace par rapport aux universités. Pour les évaluations que vous faites, est-ce que vous avez organisé, de quelle manière vous avez organisé les cours? Est-ce que vous les avez organisés avec une ingénierie spéciale ou vous suivez l'ingénierie utilisée auparavant?
Okay, if we talk about that specific time, we did not really have enough time to reschedule or think of scenarios of the courses. So most of them were already done in class. And for the rest of them, personally, I have opted for Google Meet. We were having regular meetings with the students, and the course, the continuation or the pedagogical continuation did not really stop at that time. So based on those meetings, we opted for the kind of exams. I think that Sabrin, you have another experience with the educational engineering. Yeah, sure.
Donc, je vous remercie pour votre question. Effectivement, donc moi, ce qu'on a fait avec Ilham, c'est une comparaison entre deux départements. Un département qui s'intéresse à l'ingénierie pédagogique, donc tous les enseignants travaillaient avec la méthode ADI. Donc, c'était scénarisé sur la plateforme même avant la Covid. Et on avait un autre département qui travaillait sur une autre plateforme. Chose où les enseignants étaient dans l'urgence, ils déposaient uniquement les cours. Mais pour l'autre département, il y avait vraiment une interaction. On utilisait le H5P pour les vidéos interactives. Donc, on était vraiment dans le bain de la technologie, contrairement à l'autre département qui était dans la découverte. Merci.
Thank you. I didn't expect this.
That's very good. Okay, any more questions? So I think it's time to go to the next group. Thanks
Thank you
so
very much.
for
Thank
your
you. Thank you.
presentation. Thank you, round of applause. Thank you. And now we're going to see our next group. It's about distance learning, assessment of bachelor students, a case study from Sultan Moulay Slimane University. We have Hanzawi Radwan, Abdeslam Bouhar, Braid Bukharin, and Hisham Mati. Thank you very much. The floor is yours.
Merci, monsieur le modérateur, pour cette présentation. Donc, notre contribution porte sur l'évaluation à distance des apprentissages en cycle du bachelor, une étude de cas de l'Université Sultan Moulay Slimane. Donc, cette communication sera présentée selon le plan suivant. Nous présentons une introduction dans laquelle on présente le contexte et la problématique. Ensuite, on cite les méthodes utilisées et puis les principaux résultats de ce travail. Enfin, en terminant le travail par une conclusion et perspective. Le contexte de cette recherche consiste dans le fait que, suite à la massification des étudiants et le problème de programmation des contrôles continus à pousser l'université et les chercheurs à penser à l'évaluation à distance. C'est pour cela qu'on assiste dans le processus d'apprentissage dont l'université a connu ces dernières années un basculement de l'évaluation en présentiel vers l'évaluation à distance. Donc, la problématique de cette recherche consiste à répondre à la question suivante. Quels sont les modes de l'évaluation à distance appropriés au système bachelor que l'Université Sultan Moulay Slimane va mettre en place? Ce travail a pour objectif d'analyser l'impact de la pratique évaluative à distance dans le cycle bachelor au sein de l'Université Sultan Moulay Slimane. Donc, il y a 3 établissements cette année à utiliser ce type de formation. Donc, il vise aussi d'évaluer les procédures et les décisions précises par l'Université Sultan Moulay Slimane pour maintenir les cours et les activités d'évaluation à distance dans le cycle bachelor. Donc, notre méthode adoptée dans ce papier consiste à établir une benchmark, c'est-à-dire l'étude de l'existence sur les différentes méthodes d'évaluation à distance et la réalisation d'une enquête statistique auprès des étudiants. Donc, on a fait un questionnaire d'après Google Forms et à peu près 143 sont répondus à ce questionnaire d'après les différents établissements de l'Université Sultan Moulay Slimane. Concernant les résultats et la discussion, donc les premiers résultats de l'étude réalisée montrant le basculement de l'enseignement présentiel vers l'enseignement à distance durant la période de confinement engendrée par la pandémie Covid-19. Donc, le premier graphique a montré la perspective des étudiants pour l'enseignement à distance comme solution durant les périodes de crise. Le graphique suivant montre que malgré l'attachement des étudiants à l'enseignement classique, il y a une tendance vers l'enseignement à distance dans la mesure où plus de 50% des interrogés optent pour l'enseignement hybride. Donc, il y a une préférence des étudiants par rapport à l'enseignement présentiel à distance ou hybride. Concernant la pratique évaluative en ligne, l'enquête statistique a montré que la plupart des étudiants ont déjà subi une évaluation à distance à travers l'une des plateformes utilisées. Donc, la plupart des étudiants sont utilisés normalement la plateforme Microsoft Teams, mais il y a dans l'université une plateforme plus fort, c'est Moodle. On va utiliser les différents outils pour utiliser l'évaluation à distance. Par rapport aux difficultés rencontrées par les étudiants lors de l'utilisation des plateformes d'évaluation à distance, les plateformes utilisées ne présentent pas forcément des difficultés d'utilisation. C'est-à-dire la plupart des étudiants sont utilisés ces plateformes facilement. La plupart des étudiants aussi interrogés sont conformés à avoir utilisé des plateformes Moodle et Microsoft Zoom pour réaliser des devoirs en utilisant des ressources en ligne sans avoir des besoins à l'aide de quelqu'un d'autre. Donc, à travers l'état de l'art et le benchmark sur les modèles d'évaluation des apprenants et sur les bases des résultats de l'enquête statique que nous avons réalisée, nous constaterons qu'il existe beaucoup de méthodes d'évaluation des apprenants dans différents domaines d'application. Il convient toutefois de souligner la limitation des méthodes d'évaluation traditionnelles comme outils de mesure des compétences et des capacités maîtrisées. Donc, les méthodes d'évaluation déjà utilisées en examen classique, un système d'inscription et margement des étudiants, s'assurer de l'accès des étudiants du sujet d'examen et du dépôt de la copie à la fin de l'examen. Les copies doivent impérativement être inscrites. Un logiciel de scan des copies, toutes les copies doivent être en format PDF. Et concernant les examens avec QCM, dispositions pour diminuer la triche en utilisant des captures vidéo pour webcam derrière l'étudiant, empêcher l'étudiant d'avoir accès à une aide interne ou externe, examen de courte durée, une seule tentative autorisée de réponse, pas de possibilité de retour en arrière pour les questions, occuper la plus possible l'étudiant. Donc, la présentation des résultats de l'enquête statistique montre que la multiplicité des méthodes d'évaluation des apprenants dans différents domaines d'application et la limitation des méthodes d'évaluation traditionnelles comme outils de mesure qu'on a déjà montré Cosmar en 2009. Donc, enfin, notre étude sur les modalités de l'évaluation des différents apprentissages au l'ère de confinement dans le contexte universitaire spécifique à la formation dans le cycle bachelor a montré l'efficacité et la pertinence de ce mode d'enseignement dans la poursuite des études et la continuité des différentes tâches pédagogiques et didactiques. Donc, les limites de cette étude, c'est la taille de l'échantillon, c'est-à-dire 133 un peu élevé. Donc, aussi la population cible qui ne concerne que des étudiants. Notre perspective, c'est de réaliser d'autres enquêtes statistiques auprès d'un échantillon d'une taille très grande et plus élevée, auprès aussi bien des étudiants que des enseignants. Établir aussi un référentiel de l'évaluation à distance pour le cycle bachelor à l'université Sultan Mouslimane. Et merci pour votre attention.
Thank you very much for your presentation. And do you have any questions? En français ou bien en arabe ou bien en anglais?
Merci.
Vous avez des questions? OK, on n'a pas de questions. Pas de questions, donc on va continue to next. Yeah, OK.
Donc la question, serait-il possible de réaliser une évaluation des apprentissages au moyen de l'enseignement à distance, notamment dans des conditions marquées par le manque de familiarisation d'une bonne partie des apprenants étudiants avec l'outil technologique?
Donc maintenant, on a essayé, d'après l'Université Sultan Musulmane, avec des partenariats d'universités en France, de tester des outils technologiques pour bien pratiquer ce type d'évaluation à distance. Donc maintenant, on a déjà sur un projet de l'université pour bien comprendre les outils nécessaires dans ce type. Merci.
Any more questions? Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. Can we have a round of applause? Thank you very much indeed. And now we're going to the last presentation. And this time, I think the title is in French. La mathématisation des sciences physiques, l'impact sur l'éducation des apprenants du secondaire. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your. Salam alaikum. Ravi de vous rencontrer pour la 8e édition de l'ICT-Days'. C'est vraiment une immense joie pour moi de participer à cette conférence. Avant, je tiens de remercier la communauté d'organisation. Et je me présente tout d'abord. Je suis la Zozé Abdouhab, donc un enseignant des sciences physiques. En même temps, je suis un étudiant-chercheur de l'Université Sidi Mohamed Ben Abdillah en didactique des sciences et ingénierie pédagogique. Alors, le sujet donc, de ma communication aujourd'hui, c'est la mathématisation des sciences physiques, impact sur l'évaluation des apprenants de secondaire. Alors, pour C'est bon. Alors, je reprends. Donc, pour présenter mon sujet, je veux poursuivre le point suivant. Donc, une petite introduction après ma problématique et mes objectifs de recherche, ainsi les questions et la méthodologie de recherche. Et finalement, je me présente donc certains résultats donc, trouvés par la recherche et finis par une petite conclusion. Comme introduction, beaucoup d'efforts sont déployés donc, pour attirer les apprenants donc, et faire en sorte que leur scolarité évalue d'une manière continue, durable et réussie à travers les différentes composantes du système d'éducation. En témoin, à chaque instant, donc, des nouvelles connaissances scientifiques sont produites, ainsi des nouveaux domaines de recherche apparaissent, dont l'éducation et l'enseignement particulièrement qui sont basés sur l'interaction entre les matières. Surtout les disciplines scientifiques. Ma problématique de recherche donc, fait donc, une idée sur l'interaction entre les sciences physiques et la mathématisation comme une relation la plus étroite de toutes les disciplines scientifiques. Alors, en effet, il n'existe aucun domaine des sciences physiques ne fait appel sous une forme ou sous une autre, donc aux formules, aux équations et aux manipulations mathématiques. Alors maintenant, c'est la complexité de la représentation des deux disciplines dans les sciences d'éducation et de formation scientifique. Premièrement, donc on appelle la mathématisation des sciences physiques. Alors premièrement, les notions et les concepts des sciences physiques n'ont aucun sens pour les apprenants, qui pose une difficulté au niveau de la compréhension de ces notions et de ces concepts au niveau des apprenants. Deuxièmement, les symboles utilisés donc aux sciences physiques sont, contrairement aux mathématiques, ne sont pas choisis arbitrairement, mais elles représentent certaines quantités scientifiques physiques. Et troisièmement, les apprenants des sciences physiques ne parviennent donc pas à attacher des significations physiques aux symboles et aux équations ou aux formules mathématiques. Donc, l'objectif de la recherche, c'était d'analyser l'impact de la mathématisation des sciences physiques sur l'évaluation des apprenants marocains de secondaire. Cela donc, nous poussait donc, à poser la question de recherche suivante. Quels sont les sujets qui nécessitent une intégration ou une relation avec les mathématiques dans les cours des sciences physiques de secondaire? Et comment les leçons des sciences physiques et des mathématiques peuvent être liées pour la bonne pratique d'enseignement et d'apprentissage des sciences physiques. Et la dernière question, c'est les apprenants marocains sont-ils aptes d'intégrer facilement les mathématiques dans les sciences physiques? Si le dernier est le cas, la question devient, les apprenants marocains ont-ils un changement dans leur performance en pratiquant la mathématisation des sciences physiques? Alors, cela, donc, autant que je suis un enseignant des sciences physiques, et selon mes observations à l'intérieur de la classe, je trouve que les contenus des sciences physiques qui sont basés essentiellement sur les formules, les équations ou bien les manipulations mathématiques sont les contenus les plus difficiles donc, pour les apprenants. C'est pour ça donc je veux donc généraliser donc cette observation avec les enseignants de la région de Fès-Meknès. Donc on a déjà fait donc un questionnaire diffusé pour donc 140 enseignants et enseignantes de la région de Fès-Meknès pour donc prouver donc mes observations à l'intérieur de classe et de schématiser donc l'interaction entre les sciences physiques et les mathématiques. Alors, les résultats donc, trouvés, donc, les enseignants pensent que l'intégration ou la mise en relation sont nécessaires. Ça veut dire qu'il faut donc travailler sur l'interaction, ça veut dire de trouver une manière efficace donc, dans l'intégration des mathématiques dans le contenu des sciences physiques. Les enseignants ont souligné que les apprenants peuvent réussir dans leur cours de mathématiques, mais dans la mathématisation des sciences physiques peuvent trouver des difficultés. Ça, c'est remarqué par pas mal des enseignants de la région de Fès-Meknès, parce que les apprenants sont trouvés, donc l'évaluation des apprenants donc, aux sciences mathématiques, donc ils trouvent, donc, comment dire, c'est donc plus efficace donc dans l'évaluation dans dans la mathématisation des sciences physiques. Et finalement, les apprenants démontrent donc une faible performance quand les sciences physiques nécessitent une mathématisation, mais ils n'ont pas une idée donc sur comment donc pratiquer la mathématisation des sciences physiques. Comme conclusion, il paraît donc indispensable qu'une démarche volontariste donc, est nécessaire dans l'enseignement et l'apprentissage de ce type de relation entre les mathématiques et les sciences physiques pour bien sûr donc un développement et une évaluation des apprenants marocains. Et merci pour votre attention. Je pense que ma présentation était vraiment rapide.
Short and concise, that's all. Thank you very much indeed for your presentation. And question time, please. Vous avez des questions?
Merci beaucoup pour la présentation. Je crois que la recherche il a un très grand intérêt dans l'éducation. Cependant, il y a le titre qui m'a interpellé. Vous avez parlé de l'impact des apprentissages.
Ouais.
Et le questionnaire il a été destiné aux enseignants. Et je crois que les outils de la recherche, l'outil questionnaire n'est pas fiable pour parler de l'impact des apprentissages. Il faut aller jusqu'au niveau des élèves pour mesurer l'impact de la mathématisation des sciences physiques. Deuxième remarque, c'est que je crois qu'ils ont introduit maintenant dans le programme scolaire marocain l'approche STEM.
Oui.
L'approche STEM, et ils ont commencé par le primaire et la technologie au niveau du collège.
Oui.
Et là, je crois qu'il faut creuser dans votre recherche à ce niveau-là. Merci.
D'accord. Premièrement, merci pour votre question. Pardon. Ma recherche, donc normalement, c'est division en deux. Donc, j'ai déjà donc travaillé avec les apprenants à l'intérieur des classes, où j'ai parti des classes témoins et des classes expérimentales. Donc, d'avoir donc la difficulté ou bien les difficultés donc rencontrées pour les apprenants, donc mes apprenants à l'intérieur de classe. Et donc, mes observations sont conclues que les contenus qui ont donc basés sur les mathématiques, donc en sciences physiques bien sûr, sont les contenus les plus difficiles pour les apprenants. Donc, pour généraliser donc cette difficulté, je posais les questionnaires aux enseignants. Donc là, il y en a une autre étude faite donc avec les apprenants, et ma communication aujourd'hui, c'est pour donc la suite du travail donc déjà fait. Merci.
Merci.
Merci pour votre présentation.
Merci à vous.
Votre thème m'a interpellé quelque part au vu de ce qu'on connaît un petit peu de difficultés de la jeunesse avec tout cet effort d'abstraction qu'on n'arrive pas à faire, surtout à un âge un petit peu plus jeune, on va dire. La question, avant de parler mathématisation de la physique, c'est ça?
L'enseignement
de la physique. Moi, j'ai un élément qui me semble un petit peu intuitif. Attends déjà les fondements de la mathématisation, avant l'application de la mathématisation. Parce que pour moi, il y a un élément pratiquement intuitif qui n'apparaît pas dans votre présentation. Et c'est tout l'effort de mathématisation et d'abstraction qu'on va développer chez l'étudiant avant qu'il puisse utiliser.
Oui.
Donc, je pense, quelque part, il fallait mettre un peu de lumière sur ça.
Oui,
à moins que vous avez d'autres recherches qui ont...
Non, une très bonne remarque, oui, bien sûr, parce que très bonne remarque au niveau des sciences physiques, on parle des phénomènes qui sont plus proches de notre, ça veut dire concrètes. Donc, avant de passer donc sur l'abstrait, c'est qui est les mathématisations, il faut passer par l'observation ou bien des phénomènes qui sont concrètes. Donc ça c'est vraiment donc je dois donc tenir compte de cette remarque donc par la suite, Inch'Allah. Merci beaucoup.
Okay, thank you very much. Any more questions? You have a question. I know you are thinking about question whether to say it or not. I'll come to you and you will ask.
You can put the question.
I can feel it. Here we go.
We can put your question in English. I understand it, but
I really have no question.
Non, tu as des remarques, des compléments. On ne sait jamais, donc des remarques, des compléments.
I'm just trying to build a mental model regarding what Professor was saying, and because I'm not that good when it comes to physics and maths, and so I'm not generate any question regarding what was being presented. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you for you. Thank you for you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, it's true. I mean, now it's my turn to speak. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the hybrid, which really is quite not difficult, but sometimes very difficult to put into practice when you are teaching students both online and in the class. And I had it this semester as well, and it was a nightmare. So yes, because you want to always, sometimes you forget to press the button and you go like, message, who's this? Oh my God, forgot about that. We are human beings, we are not machines. But you need to be extra vigilant to make sure that for me as well, because I'm teaching marketing, and sometimes you cannot just share everything that you can share with students that are online. When I am face-to-face, I can talk about experience, I can talk about many things, but when you are online, you need to be extra vigilant. There are things that you might not be able to say, but that you don't want to offend no one. But again, when it comes to sharing your experience, yes, it was a little bit difficult. But again, I think, to be honest with you, COVID has done some good things as well, which is pushing us to work, to do more things. And I also think that teaching online could be a great thing. It should actually stay with us as a tool to use whenever it's necessary, forever, why not? Sometimes you are, just lately I had to be somewhere to teach other students at Casablanca or part-time MBA. And for me to be there, I need to travel early, and therefore I had the class at 5 p.m. So what I've done, actually, this class was online, so I did it in literally the payage. So stopped there and done it, and then here we go. That was really good thing to do. But again, to rely on it 100%, it's very difficult. We need some technology, some holograms, or some God knows what to be able to do that. But I still think that there are some solutions that in some disciplines that we could think and start using some of the solutions is to, because what's the problem with online assessment is cheating. So if I'm not asking you any information to do with knowledge that you want to recite, where's the problem? You get the point. So then probably more presentations than the video you talked about. That's excellent to have a video. We do have presentations, but again, when you are grading the presentation, I'm grading the quality of the slides and so on. But there are a few parts that I cannot grade, which is the eye contact. So somebody is reading or presenting, so on. But with the video, I think that'd be a good idea. They can take their time, and they can have their video. So, or maybe some other type of assignment that does not really require this knowledge and so on. But we have to be prepared and then be more proactive, come up with solutions, not only for COVID, because hopefully, inshallah, it will disappear, but to have a solution, inshallah, for flexibility. Yes.
You have here a professor talk about another pandemic.
Inshallah, that's the beginning.
Inshallah. It's confirmed. Il confirme.
Je veux juste ajouter un petit complément pour la mathématisation des sciences physiques. Il ne faut pas négliger la variable langue.
Oui.
Parce qu'on est passé de la langue arabe à la langue française, étrangère, anglais, parfois espagnol. Oui. Et donc, c'est une variable très importante qui aura un effet dans cette étude de l'impact des apprentissages.
Oui, merci beaucoup. Parce que vous voyez que le ministre, donc, il a fait pas mal de formations continues pour les enseignants, et surtout dans la langue française, comment dire, donner une qualité d'enseignement, d'apprentissage, surtout pour les sciences. Ça veut dire les sciences physiques, la SVT et les mathématiques, qui sont donc chargés de faire des études, de l'enseignement en français. Donc, j'aimerais bien donc être donc par la suite à la hauteur de l'avancement international.
Okay, no more questions. Well, thank you ever so much for this presentation.
Thank you for
A round of applause
your
for this presentation. And I think this is the end, and we have about 1 hour and 6 minutes exactly to go and relax. And I'll see you all in well, at 8 o'clock, we will have a gala dinner just here in the restaurant. So go and freshen up and come up nice and ready for some action. Thank you ever so much. Bye-bye.